With talks of inflation and the rise in interest rates, it's really becoming apparent that some people are really having to decide if now is really the right time for them to purchase a house in Florida. And so in this video, we're going to talk about, should you buy or should you wait? Let's get to it. Hey everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, and I live in the Tampa St. Pete area. And this channel is dedicated to all things living, working, playing, sleeping, eating, and especially the real estate market here in Tampa and St. Pete, and especially in Central Florida. So if that resonates with you, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you can be notified when I drop new videos weekly. And as always, I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. I've been helping a lot of people through this wonderful medium of YouTube, and I would love to help you as well to make your dream of moving to Florida come true. So go ahead and hit me up in either the comments below or shoot me an email, or you can go ahead and jump on my calendar. My calendar link is below, and we can have a 30-minute consultation and talk about your personal real estate needs. All right, so let's get to it. There's been a lot of talk about a bubble bursting, inflation, all sorts of things. As I've said before, I'm a real estate agent. I am not a financial advisor, but I can tell you, because I'm in the market, what I know. Something that I have to suggest at the top: stop listening to the media. All the propaganda media that I think we've been conditioned now to understand that we really need to do our own fact checking when it comes to what the media puts out there. They are all about scare tactics. Right now, the things that I've been reading and I've been listening to are saying we're not so much going into a bubble. The bubble had to do with, lenders and how they were being a little bit reckless when it came to giving people loans. That's not happening anymore. But we are definitely heading towards inflation. I think we can all say we've been feeling it. I think not just 6 months ago, I mentioned on a video that our gas prices were around $3.80. Well, they're now up almost to $5 a gallon. And that is just crazy. So inflation is real. We're all feeling it in lots of ways. But does that mean you can stop searching for a home, or should you wait? We're gonna dive into that right now. My suggestion, and the suggestions that I've been having conversations with my clients about, is that, is it the right time for you? Let's put all the other things aside, right? Do you have a nice credit score? Do you have some cash reserves? Do you have cash set aside for your purchase? What is going on with your financial situation, with you and your family and your long-term goals? That is something I think you really have to stop and take a moment and take a look at. I think we start to look at buying a house from a very emotional standpoint. In this day and age, you really need to look at it as a business deal, because it is a huge amount of money and lenders are looking for you to default. So you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row before you even start the process of looking, so that you can make sure and determine whether now is the right time for you or that you need to wait. Buying now is, again, that personal decision you have to make. So let's just say you're decided, yep, you know what, I really want to buy now. So these are a couple of things that I suggest that you take into account before doing so. First off, you really need to sit down and look at your budget realistically, and look at your investment accounts, look at your savings account. What comfortably can you spend realistically on a mortgage? Not to mention, how much cash do you have set aside for this purchase, or cash that you can actually allocate to the purchase? In this day and age, in this crazy market, even though we're seeing prices decreasing, you're still not going to be able to get a deal, and you're still going to have to go at least 20 to 40K over list. That's still the market we are in. Making sure that you have some reserves in your savings account or in your investment account. Please don't spend all of your money on a home. I'm sure your financial advisor will probably tell you the same thing. Secondly, after you've looked at your budget and you've decided what kind of payment that is realistic for your situation, you need to talk to a lender. And you can talk to several lenders. You do not have to necessarily hone in on one until you get to, under contract, and then we want to lock that in. But there are lenders locking in rates up to 90 days. Talk to me about that. I can help you with that. Especially with the interest rates going up and down as they are, you really want to get pre-approved and you want to talk to the lender about what is the best course of action for you from a lending perspective. And then let's talk about those interest rates and lock them in. Also, you have to think about, is this going to be your long-term home, forever home, or at least for the next 10 to 20 years? I think a lot of people that weathered the storm of the 2008 debacle had that long-term plan, and they were fine and weathered the storm. And I want to talk a little bit about depreciation, because a lot of people are saying things like, well, I don't want to pay that much for a house, it's going to decrease in value. And those are really great things you need to be thinking about. Historically, homes appreciated about 5% year over year, but now we are seeing homes appreciate 20% year over year. So if we're going to start to see the regress back to 5%, you'll start seeing some of the prices pull back. That is true. So it's really about your long-term plan. So keep all that in mind. The fact of the matter is, I don't want you to be house poor. So you just really need to take all these factors into consideration. And if it's time for you and you've done the prep work and you're ready to go, this couldn't be a better time to buy. But if you are not financially set up properly, this will be a big nightmare for you. And so let's talk about renting options. If it's your goal to get here, and even if you're relocating for a job and you must get here, renting right now, I have never seen rental prices in Florida so high. The average rental prices right now in Florida are, for one bedroom, $1,759 a month. For a two bedroom, $1,987. That's $1,987 for a two bedroom. That's whether it's a house or an apartment. So to give you a little history, in 2020, a two bedroom was $1,350. And in 2021, a two bedroom was $1,415. So that was only a $65, spike. But between 2020 and 2022, there was over $600 spike. Over $600. That's money that you could be putting into your pocket to save for a down payment. So you really have to weigh your options accordingly, because you could be paying more for rent than you could in a mortgage. So let's also think about talking to your financial advisor or the lender about utilizing your 401k funds. You will not get penalized on that if you use it in a certain period of time. And you can also replace that money if you're selling a home and you're waiting for the proceeds. So there's some things you can do creatively with your financial advisor or with your lender or both in figuring out a way to make it work, because $600 a month for 12 months, that's $7,200. That's part of a down payment on a house. So you have to really consider, if it's short term, great. But if it's long term, over a year, trying to figure that out, I don't know. Let's also talk about, in another video, I'm going to talk about the rent to own, but I do have some programs that I can help you with if that's something you're looking at. It's not a bad plan. Most of them will give you 3 to 5 years to buy the house back. That doesn't mean you're stuck to 3 years. Let's just say you rent it and then you're starting to build up the funds to buy it out. You're still moving towards the goal. That's what I'm trying to say. And I've been having this conversation with practically every client I've been talking to lately. Is this the time? Isn't the time? I really wanted to live here and now I've got to wait and it's just not the right time for us. Or gosh, I really think maybe right now because of timing I need to rent. Everybody has a different scenario, and I can actually help you with any scenario. I've been talking to people in making those relationships now, because maybe in a year they'll be ready to buy. It doesn't matter to me personally. It's got to be what's right for you. So it's always best to work with a licensed professional in the state that you're looking to relocate to. I'd love it if you would pick me. Give me a shout down there in the comments. But you really need somebody that is on board with your long-term plan, not just an agent that's trying to quickly move you into a sale. That's my opinion. I know lots of agents like that, and they're wonderful agents. But does that work with you? If that works for you, I will give you their names and you can give them a call. But if you want somebody that's got your back, that's going to hold your hand a little bit and going to help you manage the expectations as well as the up and down of the market and be with you till the end, that's me. I'm here to help. So what's happening in the market right now? It's an ever-changing wheel of fortune, let me just tell you. But I can tell you the April stats from the MLS came out, and the median sales price in Florida for a home in April of 2022 was $410,000. That's the whole state of Florida, not just Tampa, by the way. And in April of 2021, it was $336,000, okay? So the average sale price in Florida right now is $597,000. That's collectively in Florida, because I know in Tampa that's not necessarily so. That's a little higher than where we are, but that's an average. And in 2021, the average for the state of Florida was $530,000. So there was still that 12% jump. Again, as we were talking, nationally, year over year, every year, it's usually about 5%. So you can see how we're starting to creep down a little bit, but just not enough to really make a dent. So we're still seeing low inventory, but things are starting to come onto the market. I'm starting to see houses stay on the market a little bit longer. I'm starting to see prices go down, but I want to reiterate, that does not mean this is the time you're going to get a deal. You're not going to get a deal in this market. I'm also wanted to express that I don't feel like this is the time to waive contingencies. I tell all of my clients, you never want to waive an inspection contingency. Waiving an appraisal, that depends on what your lender has to say. Sometimes we can get around that, but that's, again, conversation with your lender. But from the home perspective, from the actual property, we have to get that house inspected, because that's how we're going to know whether you're running into a money pit or not. And I don't care how wonderful it is, and I don't care what neighborhood it's in. We want to make sure that you are set up for success in this process, right? So it's still really competitive out there. Not to mention, I've talked to some of my clients, and we'll look at properties, they'll go, well, I'll just ask for that, or I'll just ask for that. We can ask, but sometimes that's going to lose you a deal. So you have to be prepared and willing, if this house is a house that you love, to put in more money to get certain things repaired that we normally in a very average market would have had the seller fix. So keep that in mind. The things that I continually will talk about on all of my videos is age of the roof, age of the AC, and age of that water heater. Those are the three big things you want to make sure. Not to mention electrical and plumbing, because we have older houses in Florida, and you want to make sure that all of that has been updated as well. And now you may have heard over the news that there are insurance companies now that will not insure a roof over 10 years old. So that, again, you really need a licensed professional, a real estate agent that can help you and help guide you towards the homes where you're not going to have that kind of problem. We are able to see that information in the MLS. So keep that in mind. And I was going to talk a little bit about interest rates, but honestly, they're changing every couple of days. So they're still kind of staying right there around 5% for a 30-year fixed, a little almost to 5% for a 15-year fixed. I'm not sure we're ever going to see the low 4s in this year. I don't know. I think the feds are going to keep raising them, but they're trying to keep leveling it out based on inflation. Those are things that's not my wheelhouse. I am just here to tell you that if you can still buy a home with the interest rates as they are, let's keep moving forward. If it prices you out, it prices you out. But that just helps you reevaluate your current financial situation, and maybe you need to tweak some things. Maybe you need to talk to somebody, and I can help you with that too. I can guide you in the right direction. So there's still options for you down the road. So again, is it the right time to buy? Isn't it the right time to buy? It's going to be on an individual basis. Do not let the media and all of this propaganda news make you make your decision. You need to figure out what's working for you and your family, what money is coming into your account. You know what your investment accounts look like. You know what your savings account looks like. You now know that the interest rate is going to be around 5%. So let's see. You also know that inventory is still low and everybody is moving to Tampa. Tampa is set to be the #1 real estate market in 2022. And so things are slowing down a bit. But let me tell you, we're sitting here almost at Memorial Weekend, and yes, things are a little slow, but I'm going to tell you, as soon as kids are out of school, it's going to get crazy. So let's get a plan, let's get you ready, and if you're ready to buy, I want to talk to you. So go ahead and hit me up. I've got my email down there, and I've got my calendar, as I mentioned. And as always, guys, if this content resonates with you, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. got 400 more to 1,000, so my channel's almost a year old, so that'd be great if you could help me with that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. And as always, I really appreciate your comments below, anything you want to add, any questions you have. And again, I'm really here as your advocate to help you navigate these crazy times and the crazy Florida real estate. So again, appreciate you coming and visiting my channel. Have a good one, everybody. See you around.